Yo, YouTube, what's up with your boy, Sports and Fitness Rants? I'm back, guys. Click that like button. Subscribe to my channel. What's up, y'all? Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Got another great video for you guys today. As usual, you guys know the deal on this channel, man. We must continue to stand up. We must continue to set the record straight and stop the lies and stop the narratives. And in this video, that's what we're going to do again. This narrative that LeBron James was never the favorite. This is what you'll hear the LeBron James fan club often point to as to the reason why LeBron James lost so much in the NBA Finals. They'll say, "No, LeBron James wasn't the favorite in most of those finals." You'll literally hear them say this all the time, man. But once again, this is a narrative, guys. These are more excuses for LeBron James and his fans, right? To excuse all his failures. And I want to thank you guys, man. Everyone across the world, everyone across the states, man, that's been supporting my channel, guys. I am truly humbled. Everyone out there, man. I mean, my goodness, we got people all over the world watching this stuff. We got people all over the world standing up against this stuff. It's not just us here in the States. Everyone across the world, the true basketball fans, you guys are not standing for this any longer. So thank you to all you guys, man, for understanding what we're doing. You guys know what the mission is here. And you guys know what to do. Turn the volume all the way up. Hit that play button. Remember, these videos are for educational purposes. And let's roll. So yes, guys. Once again, another narrative, another lie. LeBron James never the favorite in the finals. They'll say this all the time. Oh, LeBron James wasn't even the favorite in 7 of his 10 finals. They love to throw these stupid numbers out. He wasn't the favorite in 8 of 10 or 7 of 10 or any of the finals. He was never the favorite. And I've done videos on, Michael Jordan and the Bulls being the quote-unquote favorite. I've told you guys they were not always the favorite. But the LeBron fan club, they always say, hey, Michael Jordan was always the favorite to win. And what have I told you guys back then? Being the quote-unquote favorite means literally nothing. Because what did I tell you guys? What are we talking about here? Are we talking about the favorite going into the finals? Are we talking about the preseason favorites? Are we talking about the favorite from ESPN? Are we talking about the favorite from the local newspapers or any of these other, sites? The favorites on those channels, on those, stations? What favorite are we talking about? Are we talking about the Vegas favorites? Because most of the time, that's what they talk about, the Vegas betting odds. Oh, Vegas is picking Michael Jordan, the Bulls, to win. So that guarantees Michael Jordan's going to win. That means he won't get hurt. Scottie Pippen won't not show up. All these guys will play their best because Vegas said so. The Bulls are going to win because Vegas said they're the favorites. This is the delusion of the LeBron James fan club. So when they say, hey, LeBron James was never the favorite, what are they doing? All they're doing is excusing LeBron James's failures. That's all they're doing, guys. Making more excuses, right? To point to give LeBron James. I told you, LeBron James is 4-0 in the NBA Finals. He's never lost, right? They've excused every one of his finals. And this is one of the biggest excuses you hear. Another narrative and lie. LeBron James wasn't the favorite. Because this actually exposes LeBron James' leadership. And what, guys? The consistency or lack of for LeBron James teams. Now let's break this down. So when people say LeBron James is not the favorite, let's clear a couple things up right away. LeBron James and the Cavaliers were the preseason favorites before the 2015 season. They were the preseason favorites between the 2016 season, guys. They were. LeBron James' Miami Heat were the preseason favorites in 2011, 2012, 2013, 2014. They were the preseason favorites all of those years, guys. From literally 2011 all the way to 2016. The Cavaliers or the Miami Heat were preseason favorites. What does that mean? That means going into the season, people were picking the Cavaliers or the Miami Heat to win the title. They literally were. And why were they? Because the Miami Heat were a super team, right? And the Cavaliers were a super team. So they were the preseason favorites. People expected them to win because he teamed up with these other great players, right? Those are the facts, guys. Go back and check the history. The Cavaliers, the Heat, they were preseason. Why do you think it was such a big deal they lost in 2011 to the Mavericks? because everyone's picking the Miami Heat to win. That's why it was an embarrassment for LeBron James to choke the way he did. That's why, guys. They were the favorites. They should have won that, but they didn't. In the 2015 season, like I said, going into the season, Cavaliers were the favorite going into that season. The Golden State Warriors had not won anything. Did they? Nope. They weren't the favorites. It was the Cavaliers. Why? Because LeBron James joined Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love. Now, when we take it a step further and we talk about being a favorite, and we're talking about LeBron James' lack of leadership, the lack of consistency, what have I also told you guys on this channel? LeBron James' teams overall, throughout his entire career, no matter where he was, they've never been consistent, right? They've never been really great or maximize or reach their potential. So, for example, the Cleveland Cavaliers in the 2009 season won 66 games, guys, right? They were the favorites to go to the NBA Finals against Kobe Bryant and the Lakers. But what happened? In the Eastern Conference Finals, LeBron James and his team did not win. They got blown out. LeBron James couldn't stop Hedo Turkoglu. He couldn't stop this man. So, the Cavs lost. They were the favorites though, guys, but they still lost, right? That goes to the lack of consistency from a LeBron James-led team. We think about the Miami Heat. He said they weren't going to win 5, 6, 7, 8 championships, but they win 2 out of 4. That's inconsistency at its best. You won 2 and you lost 2, right? That's the model of inconsistency, guys. After he said he was going to win all these championships, right? We go to the Cleveland Cavaliers' second stint. Same thing. Cleveland Cavaliers, the preseason favorite in 2015, they lose in the finals. And what will people say? Well, Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love got hurt. But what have I told you guys? All that did was even it out. That's all it did. LeBron joined a super team. The 2015 Warriors were not a super team, guys. They literally had won nothing. LeBron James lost out on the Finals MVP to a role player, Andre Iguodala. What are we talking about here? They were not a super team. But LeBron James needed his super team to compete. Even though he was up 2 games to 1, wasn't good enough. Right? LeBron James couldn't close the deal. He was a favorite, preseason favorite, didn't matter though. Because once again, guys, when we talk about LeBron James and his teams, the reason why maybe Vegas won't have them as the favorites is because of LeBron James's MO, his track record, right? So when you have LeBron James leading a team to the 2007 NBA Finals and they get beat down 4 games to nothing, and you could blame LeBron James directly for that. Those games were close. LeBron James averaged 22 points a game on 35% shooting, 6 turnovers a game. 6 turnovers a game, guys. I told you, he had more turnovers than his entire teammates combined. All of them combined, LeBron had more turnovers than them, guys. That's LeBron James in 2007. But what will his fans say? They'll say he was only 22 years old. He was young. He carried bums there. But when Vegas sees this, right? When the media sees this, what do they think? Oh, LeBron James, man, he don't really show up and perform when it matters most. He doesn't raise up like a Michael Jordan would, right? So you're not going to bet against Michael Jordan, right, when it matters most because he's proven to raise his level, right? And step up in clutch moments consistently. That's never been LeBron James. We think about 2011, his first 2 NBA Finals, guys, he lost in embarrassing fashion. In 2011, you're up 2 games to 1. You start fake coughing about Dirk. I'm sick, man. I'm not feeling good. You mock Dirk Nowitzki, and then what happens? You proceed to lose 3 games in a row. 3 in a row in the finals. Averaging 17 points a game when your season average was 26. You score 8 points in a game. Never score in the fourth quarter. Never playing elite lockdown defense to help out. Nothing. And you guys lose again. Vegas sees this stuff. The media sees this stuff. Why would Vegas ever pick a LeBron James team as the quote-unquote favorite when LeBron James, like I told you guys, has shown that he's inconsistent at best? At best. So you lose your first 2 finals, like I said, in embarrassing fashion, right? You lose 8 games to 2. 8 games to 2, guys, in the first 2 finals. That's embarrassing. That's not even close. Then your 3rd and 4th finals, you win because you're on a super team. right? And you barely win the second one. Okay, you win back-to-backs. And then once again, the next one you lose. LeBron James was never above 500 in the NBA Finals, guys. He never was. Lost his first two, then he won two. He was 2-2. Then he lost one. He was 2-3, right? Then he lost another one in 15. He's 2-4. Then he wins one. Then he loses two. He's 3-6. Never was above 500. That's inconsistency at its best, guys. How are you going to be the favorite when you're not consistent? How are you going to be the favorite when you've never shown the ability to always raise your level when it matters most? He didn't do that. So when they say LeBron James was never the favorite, all they're doing is exposing LeBron James and his lack of consistency, his lack of leadership, never working with his team in practice, pushing these guys, holding them to a standard to improve his teammates. He's never done that. So what do they say? LeBron has no help. So if LeBron has no help, how can he be the favorite at the same time? Right? It wouldn't fit the narrative. It wouldn't fit the narrative. These are narratives, guys. They're narratives. There's a reason why LeBron James has been viewed as never being a quote-unquote favorite in the finals, but he was always the favorite going into the season. Because once again, this falls back on what I've always told you guys. LeBron James has never maximized his teammates or maximized the teams that he's been on. So when the media, Vegas, all these people are like, yo, the Cavaliers are the favorite going into the season, what are they doing? Because they're picking them off of the potential, off of the possibilities, right? Off of what? Off of what they're predicting is going to happen. They believe the Cavaliers are going to go to the finals and win it because of the team that they have on paper. But what happens is when the season starts, the games actually start being played, you start to see the inconsistency. LeBron James is standing around on defense. He's load managing, right? He's not giving the effort like that all the time. His teammates are not consistent because they're playing in a system. So how can he be the favorite in the finals? Because as the seasons go on, or as the season goes on, and the Cavaliers or the Miami Heat, whoever it is, they underachieve to a degree, right? They don't reach their potential. They're inconsistent. Why would you then pick this team over other teams that show that they were going to be more consistent? Why would you put LeBron James' team as a favorite? He never deserved that. He never earned that. Whereas someone like a Michael Jordan, when they point to the Bulls being favorites all the time, which they weren't, but people assume that they were the favorites because of Michael Jordan. I told you, would you bet against Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals? Would you? I wouldn't bet against Michael Jordan in the NBA Finals. I don't care who he was playing. Why is that? Because Michael Jordan showed and proved it. He showed and proved what he was going to do. He was going to raise his level of play and be consistent. His Chicago Bulls teams were, look how many times Michael Jordan-led teams won 65-plus games. The Bulls won 72 games, guys, in 1996. The very next season, 97, they won 69 games. They almost had two 70-win seasons back-to-back. And then the third season, when Scottie Pippen missed all those games, they still won 60-plus games. Still won 60-plus games when Scottie Pippen missed half the season. Because Michael Jordan's teams were consistent. Always consistent because of the practice routines, right? The habits that they formed. The standard that Michael Jordan upheld. So I love when the LeBron fan club says, yo, LeBron James wasn't even the favorite in 7 of those NBA Finals. And they really believe that they're making a valid point or giving LeBron James a valid excuse. All you're highlighting is the fact that LeBron James never raised his level of play when he should have to match the level of competition. That's all you're highlighting. And once again, LeBron James was a preseason favorite in many of those seasons, guys. The problem for LeBron James has always been that he himself has never been consistent, which means his teams are not consistent. You guys know the deal, man. You guys know. You guys hear the same things I hear. LeBron James never the favorite. LeBron James never the favorite. He was never the favorite. It's an excuse. There's no excuses. What does being the favorite have to do with you actually playing on the court? Just because ESPN picks you to win, or Fox Sports, or this newspaper, or Vegas, it means nothing on the court. Literally nothing. Did it matter to the Mavericks in 2011? Nope. It didn't matter to them. They still beat the Heat. right? I told you guys, in 1991 NBA Finals, the Los Angeles Lakers were the favorites over the Bulls. Most people were picking the Lakers to beat the Bulls. And if you guys remember listening to the broadcast during the first game of that series, at the end of the game, remember, Sam Perkins won the game with a three-pointer. And then Michael Jordan missed that shot, the buzzer, right? The Bulls lost that first game. And if you remember listening to the broadcast, Marv Albert and Mike Fratello talking as the Bulls are leaving the court, what did Mike Fratello say? He says, after this game, you can see why a lot of people were picking the Lakers to beat the Bulls. That's exactly what he said. Most people were picking the Lakers to beat the Bulls because of the experience that they had. The experience. The Bulls had never been to a finals before, guys. That wasn't the only time the Bulls were not the favorite. I'm just giving you guys an example here. Remember, there's different kinds of quote-unquote favorites. A preseason favorite, right? An in-season favorite. A favorite going into the finals. Who's the favorite actually at the time going into the finals? These all could be different, right? I've told you guys, just because you're the favorite means literally nothing as far as you playing basketball on the court. What you do on the court. It has no bearing on that. It doesn't matter if Vegas says you're going to win by 5 points. You have to actually go out there and do it. There's a reason why a lot of times people did not pick LeBron James. It's LeBron James' fault himself. It has nothing to do with the teams. Because this is what they try to do. They try to make it seem as if LeBron James was going against such stacked odds. That's why he wasn't the favorite. That's not the facts. The facts of the matter are that LeBron James has never been consistent. His teams are not consistent because LeBron James himself got them playing in a system, right? He's load managing. He's in and out of the lineup. He don't give the hustle and max effort on the defensive end all the time. His coaches are always getting fired. His teams are always trading players. How can you be consistent and be a favorite when you're always trading guys, getting coaches fired? You're showing no consistency. It literally makes no sense. Another thing we must also think about that his fans never talk about, they never want to admit, is why would you be the favorite in an NBA Finals when the conference that you went through to get there was the weakest conference in the history of the league? How could you then be the favorite? That's like saying a boxer is beating up all these weak opponents, right? He gets to the title fight and he's not the favorite against the champion or against another contender because the other guy was going against stiffer competition. He actually went through actual real battles. He was tested. So people respect him more and they believe he was tested more. They're going to pick him as a favorite. You beat up nobody. You didn't prove yourself. And once again, this is the problem for the LeBron James and his fans. LeBron never proved himself in the Eastern Conference playing on a super team. He needed a super team to get through a weak Eastern Conference. Think about that. And that's why you're not the favorite. You're beating nobody in the Eastern Conference. You're proving yourself against no one. Nobody. So when you get to the finals, you're going against teams that are usually been tested against greater competition. Those are the facts, guys. So yes, guys, you know the deal, man. Once again, when you hear people say LeBron James was never the favorite in the finals, and they use it once again as an excuse, right, to excuse his losing, they don't know the deal, guys. That's a narrative and a lie, and we must continue to stand up against this stuff. You guys know the deal, man. I'll catch you guys on the next one.